that one.
Let's get to a free agent that's actually going to be a free agent.
Yeah,
It's Paul George.
Number 3 is Paul George here. Now, he has a player option. He's also going to go ahead and opt out of that deal. And the big question mark, OKC took a risk by trading for him, hoping that, hey, stick with Russell and maybe Carmelo Anthony we'll get to later. But the Lakers continue to loom there, and that had been the heavily rumored option dating back to before the Paul George OKC trade, where he made it clear he wanted to go play for the Lakers. Where's he going to end up? There are a lot of different options here for Paul George. We'll go through them all. We'll start, I guess, with Paul George. Number 1 option for you remains, maybe it's not even a big surprise, the Los Angeles Lakers.
He's going to the Lakers. Like I'm so unbelievably confident that Paul George is going to end up on the Lakers, mostly because
he said it. Well, he didn't say it, but reportedly said it.
He's from Los Angeles. He's always wanted to go play for the Lakers. That has been widely reported. Obviously, when he left the Pacers, he told them he wanted to get traded to the Lakers. They traded him to the Thunder instead. But his connection with Russell Westbrook is weird. They're friends on and off the court. They like each other a lot. But Paul George has always wanted to play in a big city. This is a dude that played obviously in Indiana, then got traded to Oklahoma City, has a house in Los Angeles, is from LA, wants to go back home to Southern California, and now finally has a chance to not only go to Southern California, but to get paid a whole lot of money to do it. And I'm sorry, that'd be like offering me like $20 million to go be like the top Boston sports reporter. Duh. Like, of course I'm going to take that because that's my home. That's where I'm from. That's where I hail from. And now you're offering me millions and millions of dollars to go do it. You're going to do it. And the Lakers lineup with Paul George is great. Now, I don't have a second big-time player in here. I have Brandon Ingram at the small forward position. I have a point guard as well with still Lonzo Ball. But Paul George is going to be the first step for the Los Angeles Lakers. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the first big-time free agents that comes off the board is Paul George, and the Lakers make a secondary move after him. Maybe they go after DeMarcus Cousins, that we'll get to later. Maybe they do go after LeBron James. But Paul George is going to be the first domino that falls this offseason.
Outside of maybe LeBron.
Maybe LeBron.
Because everyone tries to wait on LeBron.
They do, but I wonder if Paul George is going to want to try to get his first and secure himself before LeBron James, throws the NBA into a loop. Because he could totally just go to the Lakers and try to get his own thing. But I don't have a second max player yet. I just have Paul George. But this is a good lineup even if they don't have a second star player in there.
There's been some buzz. Maybe this is even a better fit for the 76ers getting George instead of LeBron because of the way that Paul George plays. Yes,
and this would be a really fun lineup. I like Ben Simmons plus Paul George. I think Paul George would play a little bit more at the 2 than he would if he went to the Lakers. I think that you would kind of see him play kind of a combo guard forward position like we honestly see Robert Covington play with the 76ers. It'd be an interesting fit. I like this a lot from a basketball standpoint. I do wonder, though, what is the ceiling for this team? Can this team
it's a fair question.
Win an NBA Finals? I like Paul George a lot.
Is LeBron still in the East in this scenario?
That's a good point. That's another big question. Look, I like Paul George a lot. My biggest worry with Paul George has been and will always be, can you win a title if Paul George is your first or second best player? I think it's a legitimate question.
I don't know if it's first because of the way the Warriors beat, but second or worst case third, I do think you can do it.
Third best, yes. If you brought him to the Cavs team and you had a fully healthy Kevin Love, and it's LeBron, Kevin Love, and Paul George, there was a rumor that Kevin Love was getting traded in that option, but I don't know if you can win with Paul George as your second best player. He is such an inconsistent shooter. His defense is very much based around the guys who are around him and the system that he's in. Him on a one-on-one defending basis, I've always found him to be very flippy-floppy. The first half of the season with Andre Roberson, best defender in all of basketball, arguably the defensive player of the year. Andre Roberson goes out, instantly gets a negative defensive rating. So it'll be interesting to see what Paul George does. And by the way, with him on the Thunder, Carmelo Anthony is going to stay. And we'll get to Melo later. But Paul George there at the 3. He probably will end up staying with the Thunder. I want him to go to the Lakers. I think that's where he's going to go. But Paul George is too nice. And I think Paul George is going to feel guilty about leaving Russ.
I don't know. I think he can still do it. I actually would have the Thunder as the second option.
That's fair.
For me. But I think it's close. And Paul George will take his time, I think, at least early on, because he's out. He's out. Yeah. He's got time to think about it. Then he'll make up his mind.
The last option I have here, and this is a fun one, but also
surprised
has
it's on
a
here.
little reasoning behind it. You might be thinking, why would Paul George go to the Nets? D'Angelo Russell and Paul George share an agent, and it has been widely rumored that he wants the two to play together. D'Angelo Russell ain't going anywhere, so Paul George might be going to Brooklyn to play with D'Angelo Russell. I don't think this is going to happen, but if what the agent says is true, then Paul George could be going to the Nets.
Be a big addition for Brooklyn.
Yes.
Real game changer there. But those are your options there for Paul George's top free agency destinations. And the Knicks, the Thunder, the Lakers, and the 76ers.